Hello again, my name is Gabe Zolna. This is the 27th of March 2018. How many times have you heard me tell you that Google and YouTube are criminal dysfunctional organizations? Huh? Facebook just got caught. And guess what? So did Google. The article is posted on a Western Journal. It was written by Chris Agee. Date of it is March the 27th. Title: Facebook collected call and text history of Android users because Google let them have it. Concerns over the privacy of personal data in the hands of technology firms continue to build this week, with reports that Facebook collected the call and text histories of some Android users. Ars Technica first reported on the behavior Saturday, leading to the latest corporate response from Facebook amid rising criticism of its practices. In a fact check posted to the social media site the following day, Facebook attempted to tamp down tensions, with the response emphasizing that only users who opted into the service on either of the two smartphone applications had their call and text logs recorded. You may have seen some recent reports that Facebook has been logging people calls and SMS text history without their permission, the statement read. This is not the case. Android users operating either the Facebook Messenger app or Facebook Lite were presented with the option upon registration, the company said. Facebook went on to explain that the feature can be easily disabled. The data collected can be deleted at any time, and the information is never sold. No, it isn't sold, it's just given away, huh? Like they did during the Hillary Clinton campaign. Nevertheless, a subsequent Associated Press report has expanded the backlash to include another tech giant. Since Apple employs stricter controls over its app developer, iPhone users were reportedly unaffected by the controversial practice. Google, on the other hand, allowed Facebook to request expanded permissions, leading to the collection of text and call data from Android users who agreed to or failed to thoroughly read the terms. Whoever reads all those tiny little terms? We trust the companies that we deal with. Big mistake when it comes to either one of these two dysfunctional criminal organizations. One security expert explained what sets Apple apart from its chief competitor in the area of data security. Apple's fundamental approach is to collect a minimum amount of information to keep those services running and keep customers in control of the information, said Scarosa's CEO, Rich Mogul. Though Facebook began specifically asking for access to text and call data in 2015, earlier versions of Android software simply did not require developers to seek approval, provided their apps required access to the user's contact list. From the Jelly Bean operating system launched in 2012 until its descendant Marshmallow 3 years later, Android users automatically gave up text and all call data to developers as a bulk action upon installing such apps. Isn't that wonderful, huh? Good thing I got an Apple. In 2015, Android 6.0 dealt with this issue by separating the permissions and allowing an app to operate even if the user rejected permission to collect call and text data. Another hindrance to privacy among Android users, however, is Google's inability to force out updates to its software. As the AP explained, Apple was able to maintain strict control because it oversees both the hardware and software components of its devices, while Google is largely at the mercy of both mobile carriers and hardware makers when it comes to distributing new Android versions. This means that even though a new version would have allowed users to bypass certain permissions as early as 2.15, many customers could not access the operating system until it became available through unaffiliated service providers. Using current versions as an example, a survey from January indicated about 2/3 of Apple users were operating the latest operating system compared to just 1% of Android users. Well, what I think is that a lot of people are going to trash their Androids and they're going to go to Apples. That's what I think. And what has to happen is the Federal Trade Commission's got to go right up Google and YouTube's ass, just like they're going right up Facebook's ass. These are gigantic monopolies that need to be taken apart. And you need to contact Washington and demand that the Attorney General kick his ass in gear. I'll attach the link. Thanks for listening.